Who looks outside dreams? Who looks inside awakes? Carl Jung's words whisper like a mirror held to the soul, because every love story at its deepest level is not between two people, but between two hidden selves trying to remember who they are. You see, a man doesn't fall in love simply because you're beautiful, kind, or intelligent. He falls because something in you awakens a forgotten part of him, a truth buried beneath years of silence and survival. This is not romance, as the world sells it. It's recognition, the soul remembering itself through another. Before we begin, take a moment, breathe, feel, and listen. This isn't advice, it's revelation. By the end of this journey, you won't just understand men, you'll understand love through the eyes of the psyche itself. If you find depth in this, stay until the end. And if your heart feels seen, subscribe for more Jungian insights that help you love with wisdom, not wound. Now imagine this, a man meets you and feels strangely pulled, not by charm but by familiarity. He can't explain it, yet he's magnetized. You remind him of something long lost, something softer than ambition, deeper than reason. He feels alive again, yet unsettled. Because real attraction doesn't just touch desire, it touches memory. Jung once said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. That is the hidden truth of love. It's never one-sided. The moment he sees you, something in both of you begins to stir. He projects the parts of himself he has not yet claimed, his gentleness, his fear, his longing for safety, onto you. You become, unknowingly, his mirror. He doesn't love you because of who you are. He loves you because you show him who he could be. That's the first reason a man falls deeply. You awaken his shadow, not the darkness he hides, but the depth he's forgotten. And yet, this is where pain often begins. Because what he sees in you is not just admiration, it's projection. You hold his unlived life, and with that comes both worship and fear. He may idealize you one moment and pull away the next. It's not rejection, it's reflection. You're showing him too much of himself, too fast. The secret, then, is not to chase his love or to fix his confusion. It's to stay rooted in your own wholeness, because the more complete you are within, the safer he feels to face his incompleteness. Love, as Jung teaches, isn't a merging of two halves. It's a meeting of two individuals who have dared to know their shadows. When a woman understands this, she no longer wonders why he pulls close and then drifts away. She sees that love is not lost. It's evolving. He wears confidence like armor, the steady voice, the calm eyes, the role of the man who never falters. But beneath the practiced strength lies a quiet exhaustion, because for years, he's been living through a mask, the persona. Jung called it the social face, the identity we build survive in the world. And for many men, that mask is made of competence, control, and silence. It wins him respect, but steals his peace. He becomes admired, but not truly known. Successful, but emotionally starved. Now imagine, one day, he meets someone who doesn't fall for the act. She doesn't applaud his performance. She sees through it. Her gaze doesn't demand, it understands. Her energy doesn't chase, it accepts. And in that quiet recognition, something breaks open. Because love, in its truest form, isn't found in admiration, it's found in being seen. That is the second reason a man falls in love. Not for beauty, not for perfection, but for recognition. When a woman speaks to his authentic self, he feels relief deeper than desire. It's the feeling of coming home to himself through her presence. He may not know how to describe it, but his soul does. The tension in his shoulders soften. His words lose the weight of pretense. He begins to reveal what the world told him to hide: uncertainty, tenderness, fear. And she listens, not as a savior, but as a witness. Yet, here too lies danger, because where he feels seen, the instinct to retreat can follow. The persona doesn't dissolve easily. It defends itself. Vulnerability feels like exposure. Intimacy feels like risk. He may test your sincerity, pulling away to see if your acceptance was real or conditional. The woman rooted in awareness does not panic. She doesn't chase his retreat or interpret distance as rejection. She understands that authenticity must unfold at its own pace. Her steadiness teaches him that love is not performance, but presence. In Jungian terms, this is a sacred meeting between the persona and the soul. It's the moment when love stops being an escape and becomes evolution. Because when two people dare to see not just each other's beauty, but each other's truth, something holy begins. Love becomes a mirror for wholeness, not illusion. It ceases to be a chase and turns into recognition. I see you, not your mask, not your strength, but your being. And in that recognition, he begins to let go. of the need to impress, of the burden to prove, of the story that love must be earned. He learns, through her calmness, that real connection asks for honesty, not perfection, that the most seductive quality is not mystery, but peace. For when a man feels safe to remove his armor, he doesn't lose power, he rediscovers it. There's a moment in every love story when logic fails, when two souls recognize each other not by reason, but by memory. It feels ancient, as if the connection was written long before the meeting. Jung called this the awakening of the anima, the inner feminine within every man. She is not a person, but an image, the sacred muse that lives in his dreams, poetry, and imagination. When a woman resonates with that inner image, he feels magnetized, not because she completes him, but because she reflects his deepest potential. To him, she embodies tenderness, mystery, and inspiration, the very qualities his masculine world taught him to suppress. Through her, he reconnects to his own soul. This is the third current of love, when a woman awakens the anima within a man. He looks at her and sees not only beauty, but meaning. Her laughter reminds him of forgotten innocence. Her silence humbles. Her presence evokes reverence, not possession. Yet, the sacred spark comes with its own illusion. He may not see her clearly. He sees his dream of her. In his mind, she becomes a healer, the angel, the savior of his emptiness. And when reality fails to match that myth, confusion follows. He may withdraw or idealize, torn between desire and disillusionment. This is why Jung warned, what begins as divine projection must end in human recognition. Otherwise, love becomes worship, and worship eventually turns into resentment. The woman who understands this does not perform perfection. She does not try to maintain the fantasy. Instead, she remains real, grounded, expressive, and self-contained. She knows that being admired is not the same as being known. Her power lies in authenticity. She embodies her contradictions, gentle and fierce, giving yet sovereign. She doesn't shrink to fit his imagination. She expands to meet her own. And through that wholeness, she gently invites him to awaken from projection into perception, from fantasy into truth. When a man meets a woman who lives from that depth, he feels both awe and discomfort, because she does not play the role he expects. She mirrors back the woman within him that he has long ignored. Her presence doesn't flatter his ego. It stirs his soul. In her wholeness, he feels the call to evolve, not to have her, but to meet her as an equal in consciousness. And that is the quiet magic of the anima. It leads a man inward. What begins as infatuation becomes initiation. He starts to see that what he truly loves in her is the reflection of the divine within himself. Love, then, is no longer a chase for completion. It becomes a remembering. Two souls recognizing the sacred mirror between them. There comes a stillness after the storm, a moment when love stops being pursuit and becomes presence. This is where the story turns, from what draws a man toward a woman to what makes her unforgettable. A man may be drawn to many women, but he falls deeply for one who is whole within herself. She doesn't chase affection or shape herself to be chosen. She is already in relationship with her own soul. Her calm joy, her quiet confidence, the serenity that doesn't beg to be seen. These qualities speak louder than any performance ever could. Jung taught that what we do not possess inwardly, we seek outwardly. And so, when a man encounters a woman who already embodies wholeness, something shifts in him. She becomes not an escape, but an example, not a fantasy, but a mirror of what he could become. She is not afraid of solitude. Her happiness isn't a prize he must earn. It flows naturally from a life built with purpose, beauty, and meaning. This kind of woman awakens reverence, not desire alone, because her energy says, I do not need love to be alive. I already am love. There's a quiet power in that. It disarms him. It humbles him. It reminds him that love is not possession, but resonance. And yet, her strength is not hardness. It's softness rooted in truth. She can open her heart fully because she no longer fears loss. She knows that love given from abundance never leaves her empty. That kind of energy is irresistible because it feels like freedom. In this space, both souls evolve. He learns to love without clinging. She loves without shrinking. Their connection becomes a dance. Two individuals orbiting around a shared center of awareness. This is what Jung meant by individuation, the process of becoming whole, not through another, but beside another. Presence becomes the final language of love. The rarest gift isn't beauty, charm, or words. It's the feeling of being fully with someone without pretense. When she listens, he feels safe. When she speaks, he feels seen. When she's silent, he still feels her warmth. That's the essence of sacred attention, love without control. And when he looks into her eyes and feels that stillness, he realizes something profound. He didn't fall for her to be completed. He fell for her because she reminded him that he already is. That is the second reason a man falls deeply, because in her wholeness, he recognizes his own. Love, then, is not escape but awakening, not the merging of halves, but the meeting of two complete souls. As Jung said, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. And those who awaken no longer seek love as salvation. They become it.